Welcome, 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 metalheads from around the world. Whether this is good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or welcome to the late hours, I raise my horns to you. As always, I'm Morbid Murphy. Alright, San Diego, California, known as America's finest city and the Gibraltar of the Pacific. That second one, maybe not so accurate, because this whole area has been taken over by everyone who has ever visited it for the last 1,000 years. But, anywho, this is where I live. I'm from here. Fun fact, they call us San Diego locals unicorns, because this is a city of transplants. And it's just so rare to find somebody that's from here. A little background on our metal scene. Until a few years ago, and I'll say what changed it in a little bit, the metal scene here, for the most part, as far as like underground and unsigned acts go, it was the same 200 or 300 people at every show. And yeah, there's a little bit of scene drama that goes on here because of that. Anyway, when Tim Lambesis of As I Lay Dying went to prison, some of the other members of the band, who also went on to eventually form Woven War, bought out local venue Brick by Brick. Now, Brick by Brick was already pretty good at giving us metal shows that other venues wouldn't. But after a metal band bought them out, holy shit. Like, they have helped the scene in San Diego explode. I still, recognize some of the usual faces that I've seen around shows for the past 15 plus years. But every show, there's always, new faces, new people to meet. For someone in my line of unpaid work, new people to network with. It's fucking awesome. It's maybe started to die down a little bit lately, but it's still going strong. And especially, not so much Brick by Brick, but some of the smaller venues, Soda Bar, Space, Till 2 Club, doom metal and stoner metal have been just kicking ass. So much so that I will, in the coming weeks, be introducing a new part of my show that I am going to call Doom in Paradise. I'm going to find doom metal and stoner metal bands from, vacation destinations and show them to you. Anyway, so I guess this would technically be the first Doom in Paradise. So I'm going to show you Blunt Splitter and their song Green Temptress. Before I do, how about I review it a little bit? So this song is the first track. Don't quote me on that. I don't have the tracking pulled up at the moment. Of Blunt Splitter's demo EP. This demo, or EP, I guess neither is incorrect, is totally badass. If you haven't heard Blunt Splitter yet, or checked them out from my posting about them, let me tell you a little bit about them. This is a super stony, low, slow, chugging doom metal band. And, their vocalist would very much fit on like a gore grind album, but he's doing this instead. And I am so glad that he is, because honestly, I couldn't think of any other vocals for this. Green Temptress, if you can't figure it out by the name, is about cannabis. I will post a YouTube link for the song and put up the lyrics for you to read on your own. Because honestly, I can't read them with how, like, read them to you with how slow that they're saying. Like, if I read them to you, the whole, everything. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I just don't think as fast as I could read them to you would you get the power behind it. And you know what? You're about to hear the song anyway, so that doesn't matter. It's awesome. The just crunchiness of it makes you feel like you just opened up a brand new bag of tortilla chips when you got the munchies and just went straight into it. The guitars are loud, but so well played that you know that they're loud just so everyone could hear them and not just to make up for lack of style. The bass in this is so low that you feel as if you have practically dug yourself a grave and laid at the bottom. And the drums in this are so perfectly, expertly played that, you barely even, I don't think notice is the right word. Definitely notice them, but it all just comes together to form one just depressingly stony sonic recreation of smoking way too much wax. Anyway, without further ado, here is Green Temptress by Blunt Splitter. What did I tell you? That was so heavy and so just so much making me feel like I'm just basking in the world's most hot box room. Ha. Let's move on, shall we? Next up, I've got this here review of Nukem's The Unholy Trinity. Like I said, this is a San Diego episode, so here's another San Diego band for you. And I know that my job is to give you guys and gals, and whatever you identify as, I guess, sick reviews of the best new underground and unsigned music. But this band is one of my favorite locals, so I'm making an exception. This was released in 2016. Nukem is a quintessential opening act at San Diego shows, especially concerts featuring thrash and thrash-influenced bands. I've seen them play with Creator, among others. I've seen them 6 times. Hopefully this review can help a little, because I think that they're headliner material, so listen up. Everyone in this band is mega talented and super friendly. If anyone deserves a break, it is them. I received the task of reviewing The Unholy Trinity from bassist Don Lauder when I saw them open for Satan not too long ago. You may remember the on-air concert review. I was very excited to get to work with this album and pretty stoked to finally talk to members of this band, which, by the way, bass and backing vocals, Don Lauder. On guitar, Laura Christine, and you may know her from Warface. Also on guitar and doing vocals, Steve Brogdon. And on drums, Norm Legio. Sorry, bud, I don't know how to pronounce your name. Anyway, when asked about which song I should play for you guys, Steve told me to play any of them. We feel like it's all killer with no filler. That's what he told me. Norm, their drummer, is always a fucking beast on the skins. Dude seriously plays like a musical werewolf. Speaking of werewolf, let's just get into this with Warwolf. It's a cracked out thrash explosion featuring Jim Durkin of Dark Angel fame. This song's riffs will make you feel like throwing grenades in random directions just to witness the destruction. If I had to choose a song to properly characterize great modern thrash guitar riffs, this would very likely make the cut. Evelyn's Awakening. This song is, as Steve said earlier, fucking killer. It's energetic without sacrificing style for the sake of speed. Something I like about this song is that the vocals in it have a pretty broad range for, being thrash vocals. From an almost punk-sounding shout, the usual thrash screams and semi-melodic shouts, some harsh Schuldiner-esque raspiness, and then clean vocals that any opera would be excited to have in their show. The only thing about this song I think could be improved is the guitar solo. It's not bad in any sense. It just seemingly lacks imagination compared to the rest of the song. It's also, short. Solo aside, Evelyn's Awakening is a huge crowd pleaser live. Like some living slime, everyone from the stage to the venue exit will start moving in one huge permeating mass when they hear it. Speaking of vocals, my favorite Nukem song in a vocal sense is The Deceiver. Not for range, but for absolute power! One could argue that Steve's vocal style in this song would be a fitting feature in many other styles of metal, from death metal to power metal. I'm also very much of a fan of the composition of this song. The guitars, bass, and drums match the power and ferocity of the vocals 110%. A New Millennium thrash album without some sort of tribute to the glory days of the sound is fucking lame, in my opinion. TV Crimes is that tribute to 1989, when thrash was no longer brand new, but in no way, shape, or form beginning to die down. Listening to this song, you can really hear all of the roots to thrash, both old and new. Made up of Motorhead-style drumming, bass lines that they're played with only a middle finger, slightly than heavier punk guitar riffs, and Steve's signature shout sing come together to make this damn perfect song. You better be just an awesome band if you're going to put your name in a song title or lyrics, but especially in the title. Thankfully, Nukem is, one of the more underrated bands of the current era. Nukem All is a fine testament to music, and especially heavy fucking metal. Its sound is downright evil, with guitar riffs I would expect to hear in a Venom or Merciful Fate song. Norm is relentless throughout this track. Also, he gets very few breaks, there's almost too many tempo changes, and parts of this song would test the endurance of even the most seasoned drummer. He isn't playing drums at this point, really. He's your audio representation of nuclear war completely decimating this planet's surface. Like I said, this album was released 2 years ago. So after you hear this next song, which I'm going to play Nukem All for you, go out and find it. Pay for it, download it, and enjoy it. Or pay for it and get the physical copy sent to you. Also a good way to do it. Anyway, like I said, Nukem All! By Nukem.
last. United we never fall. Now's the time to nuke them all. Once you see the flash, that city's burned to cinders. Does you fight without a fight? One nation reduced to ash. Reduced to ash. You must survive the atomic blast. With no chance that your life will last. There's a come with no hesitation. When you fall to the radiation, you'll never see another day. Will red, white blood you hate.